Welcome to Scotch
It is
night.
Scotch for Dummies. And it is.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
tonight we're kind of breaking our rule, right?
We are
Right?
breaking our rule, guys. You knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that happened.
so this one's not. It's breaking the rule, but it's not going too far out of the
Right.
way. So tonight we are doing a review of the English Whiskey Company.
Hello.
Hello.
Top of the morning to you.
So this particular glass, they produce everything in England. So it's all English barley. The water comes from, obviously, England. They're not importing that. The only thing they're importing is the American oak barrels that they're using to age their whiskeys. It's a father-son team, and it's a very new distillery. They just started distilling in 2006, and they opened their doors in 2007. I believe their first whiskeys were 2008, 2009. Actually, their first four, what they call chapters, weren't actually
Is that what they
technically
call them?
whiskeys
Okay.
because they weren't aged for the 3 years that they needed to be.
So,
But this is the release that they're giving to the American market.
and how did we come about it? What did we pay for this?
So we found this at Vine and Table. It's about $45 or so, which is not really a bad price, but it's a fairly young whiskey. Obviously, they do no natural, it's all natural color. No flavor additives or anything like that.
No
It's all
chill
just
filter?
from the barrel and the whiskey itself.
And it's at 40,
So
46%.
it's gonna be a lighter, fruity whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's American bourbon barrels, and so we're out of Scotland, but we're kind of a stone's throw away,
we're
right?
over the line.
So this isn't
Like
really
we're-
a chapter thing. This is just something they've
So,
exported to America.
right.
Okay.
So and this is
gotta
it's
love
it's
the
100% English barley, so it's
Pretty clean
it's a
looking.
malt whiskey.
Yeah.
Blonde.
So
I
you're
love
talking-
the label, St. George, and
It's
fighting
kinda
the
cool.
dragon, and
Yeah, right. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of cool. So
I will get you.
Dennis, the manager at Vine and Table, thought that this would be an interesting whiskey for us to try.
Yep.
And I'm all about interesting whiskey, so believe it or not. I mean, and if we're breaking our rule here, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people that are like, "What about the bourbons?"
we're not making that far of a stretch. I mean, I think we've considered stretching over to.
We may
if we're
have
gonna go
something
a far
in mind,
distance.
but-
It's going to be to the Japanese folks probably
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Maybe obviously a few Irish ones here or there because there's a couple that
Oh my
are
gosh.
really-
Actually, I can think of one right off the top of my head
Yeah,
that I'd
right.
love
I
to
got a
review.
couple. I
I
think
think
it's
there's an empty bottle up there.
But this is kind of neat. This one caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting this. I didn't think we'd be reviewing this, and I had no idea it even existed.
I'm
So
glad you got it. Check it out. So,
Yeah.
so it's
No, no.
46%, right?
Yeah, it
ABV.
smells a little hot. I'm getting a lot out.
That's what I got too. It's pretty.
Yeah.
a light, airy.
46?
I mean, alcohol, but
laundry detergent, like
very light.
cotton.
No heavy smell.
I got like
Yeah, I get that like linen
linen.
smell.
Yeah. Yeah, like fresh, clean
Like
cotton.
the dryer vent, you know.
Well, I don't want to smell downy or bounce
Tie.
fabric sheets.
No,
It's more
but
clean.
it
By,
smells
by the
like-
way, Amazon sponsor. Here you go.
All right, what's this got for me? I'm really curious to see the comments that are going to come from this. Who else tried this?
I mean, it smells hot. It's got some alcohol on the
Pepper.
nose.
Wow. That's
So being that it's not sherry cask, it's not peated, it's very just light. I mean, you don't get it. You don't get a lot of those.
Wow,
all
is
your
it
taste,
ever?
it's almost like young new. I mean,
doesn't last
barely
very long.
aged new make. That's
Yeah.
it's like white lightning, but
They're very
little bit of-
clean. Whiskey.
Smooth and enjoyable.
Yeah. It's got a clean finish to it. I mean, that alcohol is definitely there. I'm curious how it's going to be with a little bit of water on it to kind of dilute it just a little bit.
gonna need that.
But
You think?
it's
I don't know. I don't think it's as hot
I get a
as it
little
smells.
bit of fruitiness right up
Real
front.
subtle.
A lot of
Real
honey.
subtle
A
though.
lot of honey for me, like
Really?
light honey. I'm not sure what else that is. It's peppery, some spices.
Do I dare say this would be a good mixer whiskey?
I don't know. I'd rather
It doesn't
enjoy
have a
clean
lot
right
of
now.
really unique, complex flavors in it. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either, to be honest. I mean, it's got some fruity qualities to it. I get a little bit of that honey. The second sip was definitely better than the initial. Had a little bit more of that alcohol punch to it.
It's sweet up front when you first put it in your mouth.
I get that pepper on the what's the
Peppery.
rolls back.
Oh,
Actually-
it's peppery and all get out.
Actually, the more I drink, the more sweet shows through. I get a little bit more as I'm
Sugar.
going.
You
I'm
know,
not sure I can take this I want to do a long draw through my mouth, but I'm not sure the alcohol might
I'll tell you
pour
what.
everything out.
My first sip, I kind of let it sit in the mouth a little bit, and I don't think it's that kind of whiskey. To be honest with you, I think it's more of a.
So what does that mean?
I don't want to say a chugging whiskey, but more of a. You don't need to think about it overly much. You know what I
pretty
mean?
hot.
It's not really that kind of glass.
It's not Scotch
Look
Blue.
at how oily it is. It's definitely oily. Look at it. It just hangs on that glass.
It's a little better with the water. Cut down that
It does
alcohol
cut down
punch
that
to it,
punch in the
and you
nose.
just get that sweet.
See,
More malt coming
just
out.
that shot of water, now I can really get the nose that I want.
Get more malt.
I can get past that alcohol burn in your
Yeah.
nostrils and your sinus. You're like, whoa, that was a little hot.
Almost a little
Right.
But
butter
now,
popcorn going
yeah,
on.
now there's something in there.
Just a few drops.
It's very clean. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of smells.
Honestly, I mean, it's a young bottle,
Yep.
and you can tell.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's.
Yeah, but sometimes those are fun, Sean. Sorry, guy.
What's your shirt say?
Scotch whore.
How did I end up sitting next to you?
I don't know.
So
I don't-
that's interesting. It didn't really hurt the palate that much to water.
No, honestly, I think it brought some of the sweet out of it,
Yeah, I needed the water, I think.
All right,
but
Mark,
it's
you ready to
really
go?
light sweet.
Yeah,
over there.
I'll go. All right. It's really airy on the nose. It's light. It's not long lasting on the palate. I thought neat. There was a ton of pepper. So the first initial hit on your mouth is you get a little bit of that sweetness. You can taste that oak back there. You can get some of that. You know it's there. But then the backside of your palate, it was just like I just been in some black pepper or something. It was really strong. I think the water helped it out immensely on the nose. I definitely am able to get past that alcohol smell now and really find out what's in it. What's in it is still really light, which makes it hard to grasp. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I think the linen that you said, the dryer, the clothes dryer is kind of what I'm getting out of it. I think it's enjoyable, but it's not. There's nothing that just says, "Wow, well, I got to go buy a bottle of this right now." I'm intrigued by what they're doing. I'd love to have some of their chapters, as they're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we've got a bottle of it. I think it's a good entry for us to try this and get into the English whiskeys, but I gotta say, to me, it's middle of the road on nose and palate, which middle of the road is gonna get a 2 for me. So
Okay.
that's what I gotta go with. I'm glad we have it, though.
There you go.
Thank you, Dennis, for pointing this one out to us.
I'd say you got your title. Scotch whore. So I did not appreciate this as much as this guy here appreciates it. It is light. It almost, to me, tastes like White Dog coming right out of the stills. I mean, there's a little bit more to it. It's a little bit more smooth, but not much. I'm not pulling much flavor out of the barrel. It's mostly
that
what
oak.
the kind of flavors you get directly from the still, which a little bit of malt, the pepper, high alcohol. I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm gonna go 1.5 on this. I think it's got potential. It's probably, for me personally, I would use this maybe as a mixing. It's not something that I would ever present to somebody here. Try this whiskey. It's really great. Try it neat. I wouldn't do tastings with this, but there's there's potentially a place for this on somebody's bar.
Okay, so straight out of the still, you expect to taste that oak? You're not tasting the oak out of there?
I'm not.
Really? Okay.
You get an oak in that?
Yeah, I get a ton of it. I mean, that's what it's that's what it's finished in. It's just that's the only thing that they import, right? Isn't that what they said?
Yeah, but I don't taste oak.
No, they do some sherry caskings, and they've got some other wine barrels that they do. This obviously is just American oak.
This is a little different. I kind of agree with you a little bit. There's nothing special about it. It's a nice, clean. It's almost like a starter palate cleaner or something.
It is. It's
Yeah.
one that we're going to use for that.
Yeah.
Probably, right? Because it's nothing. There's not a whole lot of flavor, to be honest. I mean, I said a couple of times already. Buttery honey.
Grass.
I'm getting, now that I put some water on it, a little bit of like almost buttered popcorn type taste to it.
Okay.
But it's got a sweet kick at first, but it goes really quick.
It
I mean,
disappears, yeah.
you have a flavor like, oh, where'd it go? It's gone. But there's not a whole lot of meat or anything special about it. So Would I buy it? Probably not. I mean, it's kind of cool to have. It's a good conversation piece. It's interesting to learn a little bit more about the company.
The first English whiskey in
100 years.
Yeah. So I'd like to try some more and see what's going on. These chapters, maybe if possible. But I'm going to give it a 1.5. I think it's
Got a Dragon Slayer on it.
That's why I give it a 1.5.
That's got a good bottle.
I get lemongrass on the nose now.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you eat lemongrass already?
I did not. Yeah, I just walk around the block chewing on some lemongrass.
I did.
You're a chef. You have an excuse for this.
All right. So I guess I got to finish this off.
Finishes it. Wrap us up.
Here's the deal. I'm kind of with you guys. It was very light. I thought that I'm kind of confused about why they bottled it at 46. Because to me, it just tasted hot. It didn't really add anything to the whiskey bottling it at the higher proof, I don't think. With the water, it kind of toned everything down and let me get to some of those really subtle flavors because it's obviously not an old whiskey.
No.
And so it hasn't had time to develop a whole lot of depth of flavor and character. So the water kind of helped get the alcohol out of the way so you could get to the flavors. But I'm with Drew. It didn't last long. You got just a hint of, something there, Honey, I got the honey, I got a little bit of butter. But then it's gone, and it's a very clean whiskey. Like my mouth, you don't taste it at all. So I'm with you. It'd probably be a great mixer because it's not going to overwhelm what you're mixing it with.
No.
So I mean, it'd probably be great for that. I'm going to give it a 1.5. Also, I'm interested in the distillery because I think some of the other offerings might have some stuff for us that would be.
Well, kudos to them for doing it.
It'd be more interesting, yeah.
It's interesting.
So I mean, it's father-son team, and I'm interested to maybe pick up a couple other bottles and just see what else they're doing. But 100% English company, and it's not bad. I'm not angry that we have it on the bar at all.
So.
2 and 3 1.5s. So
what's
we're
that?
at about 1.6,
Quick.
1.65 or something.
1.625.
1.625 says the engineer back there.
He memorizes that stuff at all.
Niner. Hey, if you guys like what you're seeing right now, please hit the subscribe button,
Absolutely.
the like button. Check us out every Thursday, boys.
Comment, check it.
We love it all.
I mean, yeah, we definitely want to hear from you. And if you've had this or anything else from them, especially you folks over the pond that might have access to some of the the other bottlings, we'd really love to hear about what they taste like and what you guys got on them. So
there you go.
Sounds
all
good.
right.
Gentlemen,
Lunch 'em.
cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks.